I'm ready.
Ready to go?
Roll.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Super Hopped Up, your favorite podcast about figuring out things to talk about during the holidays. I'm your host, Chris Norris-Jones. Sitting on the couch is one Mr. Michael Parker.
What up? What up?
Here, special guest is one Steph. Fuck, what's your last name? Steph?
Fan.
Stephanie Fan.
It's a break from 7 sweaty bearded dudes.
Yeah, she was there for us during the marathon, and we've got her here for some eyewitness reporting. And live via the internet, coming through a series of tubes, is one Mr. Bill McDonnell.
Hello.
How is everyone doing today? This is exactly, I think, 4 or 5 days post hitting the stop record button or the stop streaming button on the Metal Gear Marathon. Let's get a round of how everyone is feeling. I'll start. I want to fucking die still.
Oh man.
Congested and loving it.
I have not adjusted my. I think Bill might be able to speak for this as well, as he and I did a number of the late shifts, but I think I'm officially on whatever the opposite time zone from Vancouver is right now.
The upside down?
Yeah, I'm on the upside down time zone. I've woken up like pretty much 3 of the last 4 nights at around 2:30 in the morning, completely convinced that I was still on camera, and then like having to just like try to force myself to go to sleep, can't, and then just fucking reading or playing Stardew Valley until 8 o'clock when I can wake up and officially.
I've had that moment after every one of these marathons where I'm just like, oh my god, people on the internet are looking at my ass.
It's a good feeling,
It's
absolutely.
I had about 24 hours of every time I closed my eyes, like the Twitch chat window was just like continuously scrolling, and just these assholes who have nothing to talk about except how bad all of us are at our respective video
just
games.
This endless white scroll of strangers on the internet telling you to fucking eat more onions.
There was a pretty great moment when Eric and I were driving back down from Seattle, where Eric just says out of nowhere, well, I definitely just fell asleep at the wheel.
Oh no.
Oh fuck. Oh.
So we pulled over and went to a truck stop.
That's probably the right answer on that one. Yeah. So have you, Mike, Steph, Bill, have you all managed to sufficiently recover since we
I
ended
had like
this?
a 13-hour sleep a couple nights after, and it kind of did a lot of good to make up for everything. That was nice.
Yeah, I've probably slept 10 plus hours every day since.
Steph, I know you might have had a little bit less of the impact since I don't think you were there every day.
Yeah, I didn't even do like a quarter of the amount that you guys did, but I felt knackered by the end too.
You still saw enough to feel the fucking physical withdrawal that occurs.
You
I
ate-
saw how
happening.
the sausage was made and made some of the sausage myself.
Yeah, you ate some habanero, you ate some garlic.
Did.
Yeah, that's
I had some last dab sauce and cried.
So on the off chance if you're someone who listens to this podcast but doesn't consume any of the other dumb content that we do, the Metal Gear Marathon is a thing that most of us on this marathon do every year, where we play through literally every single Metal Gear game over a week straight while streaming it on Twitch. We did it this year. It went pretty damn well, I would say. We raised $6,269.69.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And yeah, none of us died, which is something of a bit of an achievement every time as well.
I thought I was going to. There were a couple dark moments for everybody during that thing.
I was responsible for much of it.
Yeah.
I think if I'm kind of freeballing the other stats right now, but I want to say it was something to the effect of like 230 something people donated with an average donation of around $26. And
Just like the Bernie Sanders campaign.
yeah, and exactly, yeah, we go grassroots here. We don't fucking go for the big donors. And most importantly, I believe our beer count was somewhere around 380 something when we ended. Do you guys know better?
It was definitely more than one beer for every day of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, which is the most impressive thing of all. Kat and I, we went to the bottle return depot today. I sent on the WhatsApp a picture of our teetering can of Sin, and we got about $40 back, which is
Damn,
actually
that's
pretty
a lot.
impressive.
For seven-ish people in 1 week, that is quite a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was I was very happy about that picture.
it was impressive, towering even.
Have we done that in previous years? Have we recycled the cans afterwards?
Oh, let me tell you what happened last year. Is I had these cans, and it was just me. I think like it was after you and Eric and had already left, and then like Norris, Kelly, and Carter were like sticking around to entertain the Twitch chat, and I had to figure out something to do with like our 7 bags of cans, and I took them to Return at Depot, and like being exhausted as we normally are, I did not have the effort to like do anything, so I started stacking them up outside the Return at Depot, thinking like, I just hope like God takes care of these or something. And then
I don't know if that's like a charitable thing or just you being the biggest shit in the world.
No. So as I like was picking up like the last one, some dude, I guess who had been watching me the whole time, comes up and he's like, "Are you just like gonna leave these here?" And I was like, well, and I kind of stuttered because like I don't know if he's like gonna report me or if he's gonna yell at me.
On you.
And then all of a sudden he's like, because if you don't want them, like I would love to have them. And then it was that moment where like this is a truly like mutually beneficial situation because like he gets I don't know what is probably someone around the area of $40.
Yeah, that's a great fucking day. You
get to roll into a ditch and die.
Yeah,
you walk up to a bottle depot and a man hands you $40 for like 15 minutes work. Yeah, you it was a charitable act you did.
Yeah, so yeah that's what happened last year.
Shitty charitable act that you did.
And then the year before we had, it was at my apartment, which is a bottomless well of recycling. So we just kind of tossed them as we went.
Yeah, that was less entertaining, but still pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyone want to go over any favorites or highlights over the course of the week? We invented some pretty good memes over the course of it.
Yeah, we had some good stuff. So Team Order and Team Chaos were like the two major factions last marathon. We had some splinter factions this year.
It seemed like that was like, so the idea is people trying to like make the money even or make the money some sort of odd like decimal monstrosity. That was kind of a bigger deal last year than this year. Still definitely there. Like we ended on it.
I really feel like everyone just united around making things end in 69.
Yeah, Team 69 was the winner this year.
Absolutely. You know what? Nice. God bless them all. I want to say the thing we shifted into this year was kind of like the logical conclusion after what we started last year, is that we basically need to stop playing Metal Gear games and just open up a social eating charity where people make us eat things for money. Just giving up the top of the list, the things that we ate in order for people to give us money this year include the fourth hottest pepper in the world, the Trinidad Moruga Scorpion, with an average Scoville rating of about 1.5 mil. A bunch of habanero peppers when we finished the fucking Moruga Scorpions.
And those are big habanero peppers.
I did not know how hot habaneros were until I popped one in my mouth and realized they're like 8th hottest in the world.
Yeah, and
habaneros were like somewhat responsible for the rupturing of my appendix.
Yeah, I had a goof going where I was supposed to like make Kelly think he was going to eat one and then not, and then I was like, I'll just eat it instead. I put it in my mouth and I realized instantly the horrible mistake I made.
Yeah, I had two of those bad boys in a 24-hour span, and like the rest of that, I mean that was like mercifully near the very end of it, but oh man, it was rough on the digestive system.
Yeah, I just had a tiny nibble of one and it did me in.
Yeah, among other things that we had happen to us, we also had arguably the hottest hot sauce in the world, that last dab stuff from those assholes on the internet, which make people eat hot wings. That's supposed to be like 2-something million Scovilles.
Someone did like a spoonful of that, right?
Yeah, I know Carter did. Possibly.
I think Kelly did a spoonful also, as well and instantly regretted it. But I would contend that the hot stuff wasn't even the worst thing that we did this year, because we started going off the reservation a little bit and finding some new and interesting ways of fucking ourselves up. We'll go through the lesser to the bigger. A good number of us, myself included, just like chomped down on a clove of garlic, which that's a taste explosion if I've ever had one.
I did that one too.
And not necessarily a taste explosion in the positive sense.
And you know, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like the garlic, it's maybe like 3 minutes, but then it was pretty much done.
It's like a 3-minute like nightmare, but then other than like a lingering taste of garlic for the next 6 hours, it's basically fine. At like 1 o'clock in the morning, I egged some guy on in the chat to donate $25 for me to eat 3 eggs.
Interesting choice of verb.
Yeah, no, like there we go. Freudian slip. Yeah, I dared a man to donate $25 so I would eat 3 eggs in one succession. The man donated, and then I had to just chomp down 3 eggs like I was fucking Sylvester Stallone in Rocky.
We're not talking cooked eggs here. You need to specify that these are like in the amniotic fluid.
3 raw eggs.
He didn't even whisk them.
3 raw ass eggs just like glumped and globbed, put into a glass.
This is just straight up chicken ovum.
Fucking, it tastes like boogers. It was awful. It's got that runny snot look to it. It kind of tastes like
you looked like you were gonna fucking lose it.
That was the closest I came the entire week to throwing up. Like it took me like I got 2/3 of it down the first gulp. The last third just kind of remained in my mouth for another minute and a half while I like measured up, like I mustered up the strength to continue. And then I got that down almost but didn't throw up. And then I resolved to not belittle people on the internet for money anymore because they'll usually win.
Yeah, take us through that. How does that go down?
Is that like pretty much any sadist on the internet will give you money to put shit in your mouth.
This is apparently is true.
Do you just like the yolks down, or do you like swish it in your mouth a bit and break it up?
It was no really breaking it up. It was basically just like, let's try to do this as fast as possible. Get the entire glass in my mouth, realizing that just because it's in your mouth doesn't mean the problem is solved. Trying to like just like swallow and choke that down. Get about half of it in down your stomach before your stomach realizes what it is you're doing, and like your brain just starts revolting against it. Try to throw up. Don't throw up. That's the important part. Sit there for about a minute and a half watching Bill play Metal Gear Acid where you have fucking different parts of egg just sitting in your mouth, slowly curdling. And then eventually just swallow it when you decide that enough is enough. That was basically just sort of the A to B to C on all of that. That wasn't even the worst thing we all did, though.
Yeah, so Steph, I mean, yeah, we'll get there, but one of the worst things, too, is Steph, when she wasn't there, she paid $13 to make me eat a bag of tea.
Oh, that was good, too.
Which I
forgot about that. That was actually fucked up.
Which I thought was pretty innocuous, like, me being me and not at all, like, having, like, an understanding nor an appreciation for tea, and just, like, the sheer amount of caffeine that is contained within a single bag of green tea.
Mike, the biologist of the team.
Yeah, I don't really drink tea, and I just assumed, I guess, like, tea is like nothing compared to coffee. So like, I'll eat a bag of green tea. Yeah, listen to that. Like, yeah, I'll eat it right up to the microphone and get that crunch. And I went to bed. I woke up like 2.5 hours later with my heart feeling like it was gonna explode out of my chest.
Fucking convinced you were gonna die.
Yeah, I went to, and then I was like, guys, I think somebody needs to take me to the hospital.
I saw Mike come downstairs, and the look on his face was like someone in his family had died.
That man's seen a ghost.
He came down the stairs, and I was like, oh my god, something horrible has happened to Mike.
It was about 36 hours until I was able to get to sleep. But yeah, that was okay.
I contend that's still not the worst thing.
No, it was. Yeah, if you believe it or not, folks, it gets worse.
I think in terms of dollar value.
Yeah.
I mean, because that was like $13 $13 Canadian. That's like $9.
You're worth, yeah, Mike. Because
don't eat
I got my money's worth.
You can't even see a movie for that.
No.
Yeah, my favorite thing was that was because Steph, you were the one that egged him on. This wasn't like a random sadist. This was your girlfriend basically telling you to hurt yourself for a really reasonable amount of money.
Well, look, lessons were learned. Never again. Holy shit.
Relationships were tested.
I believe it was late or early into the third evening, so this would be like the Monday night, though, that we really hit the best idea for the entire social eating aspect of the marathon. And that was when one of us, I'm not sure who, it might have been me, it might have been Bill, maybe it was Kelly, I'm not sure, but someone just said, hey, chat, would any of you be willing to give me $50 if I fucking ate a raw onion like it was an apple?
Oh, no. I know the story here.
Okay.
Again, antagonistic girlfriends. My girlfriend was talking shit in the chat about how I like to take bites out of onions when we're cooking.
Okay.
And then someone in the chat was like, I'll pay money to watch that guy eat an onion.
Oh, no.
Norris, you said you'd do it for 50, and then because, you know, in the spirit of the marathon where everyone is like on fucking steroids, I immediately volunteered to do it for 30.
That seems low in retrospect.
But yeah, then we all ate some onions.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone out there has ever had the specific joy that is being handed like a peeled. It was a peeled onion at least, so you know you're not getting the shell, and just biting into an onion as if it were like a crisp, delicious apple.
Okay, the best analogy I have for this, for someone who's never done this, and like providing you're a Harry Potter fan, do you remember in the 6th book, like towards the climax, when Albus Dumbledore and Harry Potter go to that cave, and in order to get the key, Dumbledore needs to like drink this potion, and he's like, Harry, no matter what happens, no matter how much I protest, do not let me stop. And then he's like, okay, sir. And then Dumbledore takes a sip of the potion, and every swig of that potion appears to be hurting him more. And then Harry's just like, no, you can't stop till you finish the potion, sir. And it's like, no matter how much you think of that sip or like that taste was the worst one, the next one is worse.
You like the first bite is faintly sweet almost. It's almost deceptive. It's like, oh, this is how it's gonna be. Like this is weird. It's like a fruit gone bad. But then it settles and you have a second bite and you're like, that tasted like ashes. Then you have your third bite and it's like, I think a skunk just fucking pooped in my mouth. By like the fifth of 8 or 9 bites, you realize that everything in your life has been a lie and you've only ever known pain. And then like by about the halfway point, even like trying to like use a beer to like get the feelings away, it's like, oh no, the beer's not taking the onion away. The onion's turning the beer into onion.
Yeah.
Everything is onion now.
Yeah.
I live in an onion field. And I
when I went to the bathroom, my urine smelled of onions.
Oh no.
a fucking death sentence.
Like, I don't know how Kat like existed in that room, like with 7 men that had just consumed onions.
She basically said like every day coming back from work, it was like a new smell to find out.
I think she had that scented candle just like under her nose for like the duration of the marathon from that.
Those scented candles had the hardest job in fucking North America that week, and I don't think they were up for it.
Yeah, we should have bought more candles.
We should have bought
we're gonna need a bigger candle.
should have bought a seance worth of scented candles. Yeah. And we also played some video games too, I guess. I mean, we played through every Metal Gear game. It was largely okay.
Took me a good day and a half to finish one of those games.
Bill played a single game nonstop for 29 hours, resulting in maybe some of my favorite moments of the year, watching him slowly fucking go up the river into madness.
The great part is when my arm started going numb.
Look, there are some good quips from that thing. The best moment probably from that entire thing was, so we had a fan, one of the dudes who was like a pretty regular on chat. It's like, oh yeah, guys, you need to try these codes. You'll get some new cards.
Not okay. The following thing that happened was not okay.
Yeah, like it was hilarious, but like in a really like, I don't even know like the verb to describe it, but basically there's these cards that allow you to see live action cutscenes of Japanese models in your game.
Metal Gear Acid's a weird fucked up game, and they didn't really skimp on some of that weird fucked up Japanese flavor in that, yeah, some of the codes were literally just for Japanese idols, and when you play them, they don't do anything good in the game, but they do give you a 30-second cutscene of a model staring into the camera as if she was some Al-Qaeda hostage, reading from the teleprompter, waiting to know that she's going to live or die. It was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool video game moment.
Those cards, they're actively detrimental to your deck.
A normal ass game, just a normal video game.
And yeah, it just like there was a moment where like the uncomfortableness coming was completely palpable in that room. Like everybody, I think Carter was just, he stared at it, he was like, oh, guys, what are we doing? Like completely like genuine reactions to like a bunch of people like, oh fuck, like this is it, we're gonna be taken off Twitch, like none of this is okay. It was a moment we all shared, and
super glad I was asleep for that. Although I think like there was a clip that someone recorded of it, so it's like freely available to see easily off of our Twitch. Metal Gear Marathon, twitch.tv/Metal Gear Marathon. Go there to check out their archive results.
Some hot
Go there
takes.
to watch Norris drink 3 raw eggs.
Fuck,
There's a clip of that as well.
There is a clip of that as well.
Oh, there's a clip of most of the weird shit you did.
Some of the best stuff
There's
out
a
there.
clip of you deleting your Metal Gear Acid.
Where I just quit out of the game and
It's
started
really
over.
good.
it's like the fucking survival instinct in your brain kicked in for a minute, and it was just like, no, we have to go. We need to leave right now.
It's not a Metal Gear Marathon unless you undo at least 2 hours worth of progress.
Yeah, it's not a marathon unless someone deletes their save. So far, it's a very exciting development every time. Yeah, that was basically the marathon. If you want to go and kind of check out the endless stream of content, you can go to twitch.tv/Metal Gear Marathon. It's up there for at least a little while longer. We're gonna eventually archive it and get it up on YouTube for easier consumption.
Yeah, we're gonna what we like to do is like digest them into games. So like, oh yeah, I don't give a shit about this game, but like I do want to watch them play through that Nokia game. So yeah, we'll just we mark it by games and then divide each game up into like 15-minute segments so that it's pretty.
It's usually 2-hour segments.
Oh, is it 2-hour segments? Or
yeah,
was...
it's 2 hour on.
Actually,
YouTube
yeah, I
was
guess
2
yeah.
hours.
Then you'd have like insane amount.
15-minute segments means some of that thing would go on for days.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 2-hour segments, but yeah, we make it a bit easier to browse once we take the time to put it up on YouTube.
I had a good time. I almost had like a nervous breakdown by the time it was done, but like I think I feel pretty good about what we did. about the horrible thing that we've brought upon the world. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm sure we got to make some changes for next year. I feel like there's a lot of like new ideas and new things we want to do. Maybe we're done with Metal Gear. We don't know yet, but we got a lot of things we want to figure out. But I'm overall, I don't know about you guys, but I think we did a pretty cool thing.
We did a good job. Like we raised quite a bit of money. It's always good to surpass your goal, and we surpassed our goal from our mark from last year by quite a bit.
Yeah, that was my goal at least. I didn't know we were gonna make the 7,500, but we hit past what I wanted. We hit past last year, which is all I really cared about.
Yeah, there was definitely a moment where like towards the end where I realized like, okay, we're not gonna hit 7,500, but if we push this, we can like get quite a bit more than last year. Yeah. And then we had like a good wave towards the very end, and that was like a really good feeling, just having like a bunch of people donate last minute and just be like, leave comments like, really appreciate the work you guys are doing. It's awesome, like great stream, just stuff like that. And it kind of like helps you. It gives you like the will to want to do it again. Like seeing you do make a lot of people happy, and like
totally.
There are a lot of people that do enjoy it, and like it's all going to charity. So like I don't know, it's one of those things where no matter what, as long as we can like hold on to that, and as long as we can like continue to be like at its core be for a good cause, then it's always worth doing.
Yeah, if by any chance any of the guys that like watched through and were some of the regulars on that end up finding this podcast and listening through, then like you absolute fucking psychopaths, you're the reason why we did this, and we love you all for it. So thank you.
Yeah, it's great. Like that is like a huge part. Something I've come to like really look forward to every year is like getting to interact with some of the people that we have been interacting with on the Twitch chat. Like it feels like some of them were in the room with us, like how they were like a pretty ongoing presence throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. That's about all I got. Bill, anything else you want to say, or do you think that's about all worth talking about for the marathon?
Yeah, I never want to do that again. I know that I'm going to.
Yeah, reasonable. We might have to shift some things around to make sure that no one plays 30 straight hours of a video game, but we'll figure some stuff out.
Look, I'm gonna practice this time.
You said that like I don't know if you noticed this, Bill, but if you go into the website and you read your bio, like one of the big things you say in there is just like, I'm sure hoping to train this year to make sure I don't end up spending 23 hours playing Acid again.
Well, Bill, you didn't spend 23 hours playing Acid again.
Good news, buddy.
Yeah, I got really good at the game. Just fucking. Good God.
It's only gonna take you more and more hours the more you play it.
We're gonna do the 100% clear.
Fuck.
As someone who is only like very, very, very peripherally involved in this, like it was really cool to see and like sort of be a part of. You guys made a lot of bad things happen, but also a lot of really good things. Yeah, it was super cool to see and sort of be a part of. And you guys all made us feel super welcome. Yeah,
it was really cool.
Awesome to see.
Yeah, it was cool having you and Kat and Shar on with us, like at moments throughout the whole thing. Like,
some would argue it's pretty important to have a perspective that's not just a fucking white dude with a beard.
No, you guys were super warm and welcoming, and it was really cool to be a part of.
I'm glad everyone had fun. I'm glad no one died. These
it was
are all
loads
the
of
important
fun.
things.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to I got to put some distance between it and me before I can really evaluate what direction we want to take it. And I think we got to take at least a few weeks of like digesting and thinking and not let kind of like emotions be involved.
I kind of want to play some Metal Gear Solid 2 in my own free time, though.
Well, it's a good game. Like, just don't.
I kind of want to see if I can beat that game on European Extreme. That's kind of where my head's at now.
Just don't do it between like 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. on a work night, and you're fine.
Apparently, that's the only time my body functions anymore, Mike. I don't know what to tell you.
Go see a doctor.
I like that we talk about this marathon like it's an abusive spouse. It's like, you just got to put some distance, clear my head.
Maybe next year will be different.
What we're gonna do going forward.
It fucks me up, but I love it. Yeah, definitely. Speaking of things that also fuck you up, but you also love, anyone got any other video game stuff to talk about? Mike, you said you might have some things you want to discuss.
Yeah, I do have a little bit. So right after the marathon, I got home and I decided to check out what was on the Christmas PlayStation sale. So I picked up the entirety of the first season of Life is Strange for $5, which is a pretty good deal. I know we talked about a bit about that already, but I also picked up the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC.
Cool.
And yeah, so I've been plugging away at that. And Horizon Zero Dawn, was my game of the year 2017.
Do you mean Super Hopped Up's 2017 game
Was
of the year?
mine
Year.
and Super Hopped Up's 2017
I'm Team
game.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, fuck these fucking losers, right? What a horrible decision they've made.
It was
What
a
a
good
mistake!
game.
What a
It's
mistake!
You was like your number 2.
Breath of the
like,
Wild was my number 1.
It was no, like Horizon was up there.
Horizon
on
was my
your-
number 6.
Yeah. Anyways, it was a good game. And I guess playing the DLC like reminded me a lot of why I liked it. Like it's a really, I don't know, the combat is just so fluid. It works so well. It just all the characters are very well voiced and very like entertaining. The only problem I had with the DLC is it was pretty much just more of the same. Like it didn't really add anything new and super different. Like the monsters in the new zone, they instead of being corrupted, they're demonic, which is basically another way of saying they're bigger, faster, and stronger. And
That sounds like the exact same thing.
yeah,
It's corrupted,
exactly.
Really.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like it's not nothing new. Like they're demonic, and I don't know what demonic is different from corrupted. There's a couple new monsters which they seem like they're just a bit too like do everything. Like the first thing you encounter is a Scorcher, and it can shoot fire at you from a long distance, but it can also melee you from like it can jump at you from about 100 meters away, and if it sees you, it's gonna kill you, and it has a lot of armor. So it just seems like all these new machines are just a bit tougher.
Get good.
I tried.
I
It's-
second that.
It's tough. These monsters, like it's sort of absurd how far they can jump. Like there was a large hill between me and the dude, and I was just trying to like lay some traps for it. And then the next thing you know, it jumps. It does this like melee sound, and then it's on top of you. And I don't know. It seems like it was not super inspired. The creation of these new guys, they're just like a bit faster and bigger and tougher than guys you fought before. I don't know. Like the DLC, it's not. It would be good if you haven't played the game before, but it's just more of the same. I think.
I've had zero interest in. Well, granted, like that game as time went by, like I as much as I enjoyed the story and the things that game did, like I feel like with the games that have come out this year, I get less and less interested with Horizon Zero Dawn. Your guys' fucking bullshit palace coup for number
Hey,
1
one.
of this game of this year, this podcast notwithstanding. Like I've had no interest in like getting the DLC and
Yeah,
trying to play through it.
I mean, like I got people in my corner on this Horizon thing. They're just not here right now. But yeah, the DLC. I don't know. To be honest, I don't really think it's that worth it. I mean, I'll play through it. I'll let you know if there's any like cool things that happen in the story. But it just seems like it's just like extend your game a little bit, and yeah, at that point you might as well just like go and play it on a harder difficulty or something. But yeah,
Who's got time for that shit?
yeah, exactly. So that's all I got to really say on that. Just wanted to throw my initial thoughts.
All right, Steph, anything you want to talk about? How's your Christmas? How are the holidays treating you?
I'm so sad it's over. I want more Christmas.
I don't know. I'm okay that like all like the holidays. The entire month of December has been such a stress ball. I'm kind of just happy it's ending off now. Personally,
Yeah, well, you had a bit of a like you had to go to Kelowna, do a bunch of things, and then you're back now, and that was in the span of just a few days.
I'm back just in time to help Kat move starting like tomorrow. Yeah,
so no days off for you.
So December keeps going. Bill, how have you been doing? Anything you've been playing that's not a fucking Metal Gear game?
I sat down to try and play some Stardew Valley the other day after I got back from Canada.
Go on, tell me more.
And like my body rejected it.
No.
I was like, I can't fucking do it. That made me pretty sad because I've been putting a lot of time into that game as like a relaxation method.
How what year are you into in Stardew Valley?
On my current save, I'm on year 2.
Okay,
Okay.
I played into year 4 previously.
that's pretty good. Okay, yeah. Does that game just go on forever? Like I'm in winter of year 1.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's your new life now.
Yeah, no, this is my existence. I love it. I am a farmer now. I'm ready for the revolution to happen because I just want a subsistence farm. It's all pretty good. I just got iridium sprinklers though, so I'm really happy for spring to come so I can start getting that shit up and running.
Yeah. Who'd you select as your communist waifu?
Abigail is obviously my waifu. Video game girls
is
for
she
life.
A member of the party though?
I mean I can convince her. I'm pretty sure I can get her to dye her hair red.
I'm sure there's a mod for that. I'm sure there's a communist waifus mod.
I am absolutely sure. Dude, with some of those fucking mods that you showed me specifically over like last week, I am confident there is a mod for any nefarious act for Stardew Valley now.
What are you saying about the mods I showed you?
I'm saying that those pictures are wrong, Bill. I'm saying those pictures are not okay.
Yeah, you know, it's just what if you want to make your Stardew Valley girls chestier?
Fucking NC-17.
I'm not quite happy with the volume of pixels on those breasts.
Yeah, there's literally a mod that just like opens their shirts a few buttons.
They need at least 20% more breast pixels.
No, I think the mod that Bill really wants is the 8-legged one.
Yes, how can I get a spider wife?
I'd be pretty happy if someone invented a way that you could fuck a spider in Stardew Valley. I think that would be pretty okay. Called the Bill mod.
Yeah, there's
finally a reason to learn how to program.
Yeah, no, it's a good game. You've been burning through. I think I'm still in like towards the end of fall in my game. But
It's a really good game just for like a low intensity, low stress. Just I'm on vacation at my parents' place for Christmas. I have nothing to do for the next 24 hours, but do a puzzle or sit here and play Stardew Valley. So I'm gonna do a bit of both, and I'm gonna go through a season and a half in a day.
Yeah, I'm trying. Awesome. I'm trying pretty hard to go in as blind as possible, because I think a lot of the good stuff with this game is like just the discovery and like having things kind of surprise you as they happen.
I more or less been doing that. There's a couple of times I've been just like, okay, this person hates all my fucking gifts. What's a gift I can give them that doesn't fucking hate?
With that kind of stuff, it's like when I want to figure out how a mechanic specifically works. Like I had no idea how. Like I thought you could just give someone anything and it would be a gift. It turns out people like certain things.
Yeah, you can't give people dirt as gifts.
Yeah, just give someone like a lump of clay and they're gonna be your friend. Like,
oh, did you guys know you could dig around people's trash cans?
Yeah, they get really fucking weirded out if they catch you.
Yeah.
That game is fucking great.
That game
I'm somewhat excited for the updates that are coming to it in the new year, which includes like multiplayer co-op.
Oh baby, starting a farm commune.
Do any of you know if any of those updates are going to go onto the Switch, like around like parity time? Like,
I'm playing on the Switch.
Yeah, I'm playing on the Switch, which I actually argue is the best way to play fucking Stardew Valley.
It looks a lot better, actually.
Yeah, it's
that's cool.
It's easy. It looks great on my TV, and all of a sudden, I pull it up and it's mobile. I'm playing it in the car. It's great. I fucking love it for that.
I don't know what the updates are like. I mean, I assume that the updating process takes longer when it has to go through like Nintendo QA,
Nintendo Cert, and all that. Yeah,
as opposed to just being dumped onto Steam.
They'll take anything.
Hopefully they at least like try to keep up with Switch, and then they're not doing what they've done with other like indie games have done was like their primary console, which is like put out the game and then fucking forget about it. Like I'm hoping they keep the Switch up to date.
I did realize when I was looking at that feature set that you can marry the other person you're playing with.
Oh really?
Oh no.
Which just seems like I don't understand how the game mechanics will allow for that.
Because isn't marrying somebody, it's just like they help you with farm chores?
Yeah, some of them they'll make food for you and stuff.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, a lot to unpack with that one. First of all, and second of all, I'm not at that point. Like I've just started asking the purple haired gamer girl to go out with me. So like I don't really know how the marriage shit works in that game yet. I'm excited to find that out on my own. I'm intrigued of like because I've realized like I'm still trying to make friends with other people, so I'm still like giving flowers and gifts to other girls, and I have a feeling that like at some point in time that shit's gonna come back to fucking haunt me.
This is like the moment where like
sure.
you start dating somebody, but you're still right swiping as you go.
It's that tremulous beginning of a relationship where you're not sure if you're serious or not, and you're still just kind of like going and giving flowers and various minerals you've dug up from the mines and fought skeletons for to the other neighborly girls, but you're wondering if your main girl's finding out that your side piece got that crocus flower that you gave her this morning, and it's all fucking weird.
What a tangled web you
field
weave.
out there, huh?
It's a small town, man. Everyone knows everyone, I think.
True, there's like 32 people you can interact with.
And you can bang
cool.
all of them.
You can every single one of them.
Even the married ones? Like, is that a message
ones.
that it wants to put forward?
That's a good question. I actually don't know.
I don't know. So what I gathered from reading the 4chan thread was
Oh, boy.
that
Here we go.
every one
Buckle
of
up,
the people
kids.
in this game is cuckolding you.
Yeah, it's a secret word of the day. Boo, woo, woo. Yeah, no, I remember you telling me about that. Did they decide that there was any potential marriage material that wasn't specifically out to humiliate you, both physically and sexually?
Leah was the only one that seemed to pass
Oh,
muster
good. I
for
got my
4chan.
eyes on her.
That's the wilderness girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when she lives in a cottage in the forest. Find yourself an outdoor girl, then you're in good shape.
All right, that's an ominous sentence.
Yeah.
Bad advice from Super Hopped Up.
These are some great out of context quotes. I hope you know.
Just find a girl who lives in the forest. Problem solved. Bill, who's your wife or husband? Who's your specific partner that you're reaching out for?
The first time I played through, I rescued that trailer trash Penny.
Oh yeah, she's got a tough life.
Wait, is Penny the girl from the is Pam Penny's mom? Is that the
I think
family
so.
there?
I think Pam
Yes.
is Penny's mom.
I didn't know that. Okay.
It was living
Yeah,
in the trailer.
Pam's like a fucking unrepentant alcoholic.
Pam fucking rules. Pam likes me because I keep buying her beers, and that's pretty good.
This is a game about farms.
I fucking love Stardew Valley because there's some weird dark shit kind of going off in the background. Every once in a while you talk to someone and they're just like, oh yeah, our continent's at war with like the Golgamore Empire. I sure hope we don't die. Like,
Oh, I forgot about that.
nothing. Fucking great.
Yeah, the first time through, I married Penny. I haven't chosen yet. I've got about 5 or 6 girls at like around 4 hearts. So,
Speaking of quotes
you
out
know.
of context, I can't
I'm just
like
gonna marry Gus, the fucking homeless guy.
relate this
Wait, you mean
to
Linus.
the game I've been watching you play. It sounds completely different.
Yeah, there's a dark side to Stardew Valley. Like it's not all about getting your chickens to lay eggs.
one of the quests you get is from the mayor, and he's just like, I lost my lucky purple shorts. Can you find them for me?
Oh yeah, you gotta
Turn-
make friends with Marty.
You got to make friends with the farm girl. Turns out the mayor's shorts are in the farm girl's room, and you can't get in them until you make friends with the farm girl. And then you give the shorts back to the mayor, and he's just like, you don't tell fucking anyone where you found these. Shut your goddamn mouth.
I love that the very first time you try to enter somebody's room, it's like you can't enter Abigail's room unless you're better friends with her. Or it's like you need to be better friends with Abigail in order to enter her room, and you just like have to sigh and be like, tale as old as time itself.
I don't like that. That's why Breath of the Wild is great. You can just enter people's rooms and watch them sleep.
It's totally normal. Totally normal requirement. Yeah, I'm enjoying Stardew Valley. Winter's kind of boring right now for me because I've gotten to the bottom of the cave, which was what I was expecting to mostly do during the winter. So now I'm just kind of like slowly fishing all the time for money and like I'm basically just fucking fishing and just feeding my fucking animals. I don't know what else to do in the winter. Bill, if you have any good
You
advice
gotta clear those. You gotta clear some of those collections at the community center.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
doing that. I'm getting as many of those as I can. But I feel like
I followed your advice and I got the minecart, and it is a godsend.
minecart's good. I just got the minecart recently too.
Yeah, the next one I would do is the bus, which just costs a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. I think like that one's actually not hard to do. It basically just requires $41,000 or something.
Yeah, it's expensive, but that's a thing to do in the winter because it'll allow you to get out to the other mine in the desert.
Okay. I don't want to know like the answer to some of this, but there's also some weird stuff going around. Like I found some area up by the hot springs that's like there's a cave that's hidden by like a sigil with fucking monster feet, and I've cleared out my farm, and there's a fucking weird shrine to my grandpa in the corner, and the ghost is just like, come back in a year and I'll talk to you then. And like there's a whole bunch of weird shit I'm finding here and there.
Yeah, there's a wizard, and he does not interact with the rest of the town. He's just there.
I feel like I gotta make friends with that wizard. I feel like that wizard's got some shit to tell me, but I need to be friends with him first.
Yeah, the wizard's pretty easy to make friends with. Just bring him like fucking mushrooms and shit.
Really? Okay.
Cool.
It's a good game. It's a fucking good game.
It is like
I'm thoroughly enjoying
It
this
sounds
fucking game.
stupid, all the things we're saying, but it is a really fun game. I love it a lot. Like it's.
I mean, the funny thing is like I started playing these games in like when I was a child, when it was like the Harvest Moon series.
Yep. Harvest Moon for SNES
and
rules.
It was a deeply embarrassing game for people to know you were playing. It's like, okay, so it's you're doing what now? You're farming on your Super Nintendo and trying to marry one of these girls. That's some like deeply weird shit. So I'm glad that Stardew Valley has a following now, and I don't feel so weird about it.
Stardew Valley has one of those followings that almost seems somewhat Undertalian in nature, in that like I am fully expecting next time I go to PAX to see people like cosplaying as specific Stardew Valley characters, and they
specific waifus.
Yeah, and they all probably go off to some weird Stardew Valley party, and they all fuck each other at some point in time at their own place afterwards. Just like Undertale, exactly like Undertale.
Oh God.
Except Stardew Valley is a good game.
Oh, they're both pretty good. They're both good games.
They both got real good music. I will give almost every tune in Stardew Valley has been really good.
Stardew Valley's music isn't memorable, but it's perfect for what it should be. It's just, this is the music I want to fucking farm to. It's a good game.
This game is secretly indoctrinating you into the socialist lifestyle.
If I was gift wrapped like 3 acres of farmland right now, you think I would say no? You think I wouldn't like leave there in a heartbeat?
Mike, you need to know how to farm. It's not like Stardew Valley where you can go into the fucking town and have the man sell you seeds and you can put them in the ground and then they grow things.
You gotta make a deal with Monsanto.
Yeah, you gotta buy the proper seeds that don't get fucking pesticide. And those are self-terminating seeds, so you gotta buy them every fucking year. And then all of a sudden you realize your neighbor farm is gonna fucking encroach on your land, and now it's all fucking terrible.
You got property disputes and all that. That's the true nature of farming.
You want to be a farmer, you got to be ready to kill a man by staring them dead in the eyes. I don't know if you're ready yet, Mike.
We'll find out if I get gifted 3 acres from a grandpa. But yeah, it's a good game. I'm gonna play a lot more of it. I really want to see like all the weird twists and turns it throws at you, because I feel like there's a lot more to come.
It's cool. There's a lot going on in that game that is not necessarily apparent at first glance. I'm excited to get into the weird shit. I want to find how to get into the sewers. I want to go to the desert area and start killing more monsters. Yeah. I want to get some of those good sprinklers. I finally got the recipe to make the good sprinklers, and I want to start making those because I'm tired of fucking watering my own crops. I'm done with that shit. That's some peasant ass shit right there. That's about all I got for this entire episode. Bill, if there's anything else you want to talk about, you go ahead and shoot off. Otherwise, I feel like we can call this a quick one because it's the fucking holidays and none of us are doing anything other than eating and drinking.
I watched Bright.
Oh shit! Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. X that last thing. We got to talk about this now. This is important.
Before we listen to Bill shit on this, I just want to say the writer Max Landis, who is a horrible misogynist and sexual assault committer.
Yes, he works in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, but he also has a tweet that he has since deleted saying something like, oh, if Bright is done well, it's crazy to think that if Bright is done well, this could be like my Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like
the beginning of the Orc Cop series.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, so I actually didn't know that Max, like Eric and I fucking went straight into watching this motherfucking thing right after getting back from the marathon.
Makes sense, yeah.
And we watched about half of it, and then both of us were like, fuck this, and go to bed. But I did go back and watch the whole thing like a couple of days later. I didn't know Max Landis wrote it like when I watched it, but upon finding out, I was like, oh, that makes sense because this is shit.
What else has Max Landis done? I've heard the name a number of times, but I can't.
American Ultra.
Oh yeah, okay. Ugh.
He's John Landis' son. John Landis is like a fucking famous Hollywood director and shit and writer.
I know the name, yeah.
But he's mostly garbage. Anyway, Bright is such a ripoff of the Shadowrun property.
Yeah, you've got an orc with guns, like doing like future, like present day to future shit, and like I know maybe it's casting a broad brush, but that just sounds Shadowrun as fuck to me.
There's a great scene right at the beginning of the movie when Will Smith kills a fairy with a broom, and then tells all his neighbors that fairy lives don't matter today.
What the fuck?
Oh, no.
What the fuck? How is Will Smith okay with that? Yeah. How the fuck did that?
Dude,
what?
Dude, I don't know.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, no, it's really bizarre because like it's one of these things where they've set up clear like racial analogs or like social analogs for the various fantasy races. Like the nice part of LA is like the elf only part.
Cool.
And then like, the orcs are basically treated as the way you would like all the imagery is basically like lower class black imagery.
Wait, so
what's up with thug orc culture? Where are the fathers?
Are the humans elves in it, or like is Will Smith an elf, or is it like
no? Will Smith's a human, and this is the
human.
thing that really fucked with me is I was like, okay, clearly they're trying to say that like orcs are black people, but right at the beginning of the movie, Will Smith goes out of his house and there's like just normal like black thugs next to his fucking house, and I'm like, I don't understand how this fucking shitty racial parable is being written.
It's a complicated metaphor, Bill. There's a lot going on.
It's real bad.
maybe if we made the black people not even human, then they would get it.
Will Smith's partner is the first orc cop in the United States.
All right, you know what? Like okay. Two thoughts. One, that sounds like the worst idea for a movie I've ever heard, and two, now I have to fucking watch this.
I mean, you're gonna deeply regret it.
Look, you gotta watch that and then Zootopia back to back, because Zootopia is
rules.
The story about the first rabbit cop in the United States.
I would gladly watch
Zootopia is
again.
probably the good version of this. Like it's the exact same. It's like all the same like metaphors. Just without orc thugs. I was like, why is every orc wearing like a football jersey? There's literally a fucking line where someone from like the FBI says that like half the fucking linebackers in the NFL are orcs.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Like, yeah, no, I'm not.
That is some David Cagean level of fucking metaphor in your film property. That's just fuck it. That's just bad. That just ain't no good.
It's real bad. I don't even know how to talk about the movie without like saying wildly offensive things. Because it's just like it's like fucking watching.
Well, because it seems like almost a satire of itself, right? Like with lines like that. I don't know. Like, I think it's okay just to say like that's bad. Like,
yeah, no,
it kind of summarizes
bad.
it.
It also feels like it was put together. Like it's one of those movies where it's like, okay, this was put together by a committee, right? Like
what
committee? A bunch of shit happens, and
the fucking Ku Klux Klan fucking film edition. Like who came up? Like who was this? Like, oh, this is good. This is all fine. Yeah, no, yeah. All the fucking they're all football athletes and young thugs. That's what the orcs are. They is. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's fucking weird. Don't watch Bright.
I might have to now.
Oh,
fuck.
No.
I gotta be part of the zeitgeist, Bill. I gotta know what the kids are talking about. Maybe all the high school kids are super into Bright now. Maybe
But I wonder,
gotta be up on it.
Like I wonder, and like I could be totally wrong because I am so out of touch with the youth. But like, if you are not as experienced in the world, would you watch Bright and be like, "Oh yeah, man, this is like it hits on another level"? Like if you're in high, I don't know.
Does the alt-right love this movie? Like, do we have any analogs into that?
No, I'm sure that the alt-right does not love this movie on account of all of the black people in it.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem. That's no good for them.
But Mike, my experience with teenagers is that teenagers have shit taste in movies.
So there's still hope for it, like critically.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm sure there's tons of teenagers who are like, "This fucking rules, orc cops."
I'm gonna look up the Rotten Tomatoes right now. You two vamp.
All right,
half a second here while I look
so
this
here's
up.
Okay. My prediction, based on Bill's analysis, I'm saying 29.
Okay, yeah. Let's. If you don't know, play part of this game. Bill, do you know what the Rotten Tomatoes is?
I do.
Okay. And then let's make this. Let's make this.
It was one of those things where after I watched it, I had to go. I was like, "Am I wrong?"
No. Am I out of touch?
But there is a conversation piece to be had now that I'm looking at this this Rotten Tomatoes score. Okay, let's do a boyfriend versus girlfriend. Mike, what's yours?
Mine was 29.
And
48, not because that's what I think it should be.
Mike, once again, you proved surprisingly prescient. It is 27% on the
nice.
tomato meter. However, the audience score, 89%.
No!
Jesus Christ.
There is
they're wrong.
There's a disconnect here, is what I'm trying to say.
So it's 27 for the critics and then 80 something from the audience. Go take a look at Star Wars.
Okay, all right, yeah, let's do this. Let's do.
That's gonna be something like
Star Wars.
like-
I feel like we're gonna see the inverse of this.
That'll be like that'll be like mid 60s. Oh really? Like I thought it would be the same. Like you're gonna have critics around the 60s, and then audience will be like a high 90s for Star Wars.
Audience, dude.
Oh, the new Star Wars, or are we talking
The new Star Wars?
Oh, okay. I'm not.
The audience, the people. Do you guys want to guess the tomato meter and then guess the audience score here? I got it in front of me.
The
right
tomato. Okay, for the new Star Wars, because I think that it's gonna be like critics are gonna be like in the 80s and audience in the 30s. Just because people like love to just shit on Star Wars, like.
Okay.
I ain't seen no stars. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I got to see it soon before it gets spoiled for me. The tomato meter for Star Wars: The Last Jedi is 91%. Certified fresh. It's got the halo and everything. The audience score, 51, which is higher than I thought, but that ain't no good. That's a bad rating. Bill, you frequent the fucking alt-right forums sometimes. Do some sort of...
Whoa, okay. Come on now.
Okay, all right.
Bill, you're a regular.
Quotes taken out
You
of
guys
context.
didn't let me finish that sentence. All right, you're like an archaeologist. You're some
As
sort
a
of
researcher.
yeah, as a researcher, Bill, you're like Jane Goodall with the apes. You're going in
Just watching
to
them
see
throw
how
shit at each other.
yeah, just you're watching fucking the alt-right throw poop at one another and trying to find out why. You seem to have a better idea as to why the internet neckbeardians fucking hate this film. Can you give a synopsis on that if you want to?
Why they hate Star Wars?
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to the same shit like when the first trailer for The Force Awakens came out and Finn takes off his helmet and he's black. Like
Oh.
No. Sorry, like I'm just like now I am thinking about that scene in the context of what is happening with the political climate in the United States now, and like I'm upset seeing how people are like probably retroactively reacting to that.
Oh yeah, dude, it's piss all the way down. That's the way it's worked for the last couple of years.
yeah, I mean when I was reading 4chan and Stormfront and shit like around the time The Force Awakens came out, I mean it was fucking insane. Especially right before the movie came out when people were really concerned that Finn was gonna have a romantic relationship with Rey. It's craziness, but like all that shit is happening again with The Last Jedi because there's even more like characters of color now.
This
I mean, I want to say like principal characters. Let's see, there's 4 principal characters that are women, and maybe like maybe like 5 principal characters that are men, which is far more than like the original Star Wars.
9 characters is a lot to keep. Like
that's a lot to keep straight
like
in your head.
I'm less stoked on this movie because I don't know, any movie where you've got to like divide your attention between more than like 3 characters gets like a little too much.
Well, that's because you have face blindness.
Well,
This is true. Yeah, Mike has admitted that he has face blindness. Apparently, it's a real thing Mike has. He says it's true. I totally believe him.
not face blindness, alleged face blindness aside.
Here we go.
I'm just
Mike,
gonna.
quick, which one's your girlfriend? Which one's your childhood
Oh
friend?
shit!
Go.
No, I didn't have time. Oh no!
Oh no, they're both wearing toques. How will
Both
you
wearing
be
toques.
able to
Oh, that
tell?
was it.
Oh yeah, this is the toque cast. Bill, are you
No,
wearing
wait.
a toque right now?
I am not.
I wrote down some flashcards on my hand. Steph glasses, Norris mustache. All right, got it. No, okay. So all stupid jokes aside, when you have to like I guess develop an attachment to more than I'd say 3 characters in a movie, it becomes a bit much to ask. I think.
Oh, yeah, it's generally not good to divide someone's attention that much, but
Because in the original, you got Han, you got Luke, you got Leia. I mean, Chewie's there. Like it's not much. Like how can you not like Chewie? That's pretty much it. And then like they didn't really introduce a lot more. I mean, you introduce like a few more as each movie goes on, but like 9 characters. Like if you're saying 9 principal characters,
Mike, have you seen Last Jedi?
I have not seen Last Jedi yet.
Okay, then I guess this might not be the best conversation because I feel like most of us here are still kind of in the dark.
Yeah, I won't say anything.
I mean, I don't care, but I feel like everyone else cares about spoilers. But like, yeah,
What I will say is that like there's roughly 9 principal characters like just that I can think of off the top of my head. and it's split more or less 50-50 men and women. And reading the like alt-right forums and seeing shit that's just like, this is the feminization of Star Wars. This is bullshit.
Women.
It's pretty sad. So a lot of that low audience score, I think, comes from people who are like, 30 to 40-year-old man children who are deeply upset that like, it's not about Mark Hamill's fucking glowing phallus anymore.
Just fucking incels and MGTOWs trying to get their voices heard on the internet.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, but like, I wouldn't let that audience score color your perception, because I mean, look at the audience score for Bright, which is basically the exact opposite.
I feel like I gotta watch both these films now for wildly different reasons. But
I mean, the only good thing that can come out of watching Bright is that maybe you'll want to play Shadowrun.
Shadowrun's pretty good. Like I played that relatively recent like Shadowrun Baldur's Gate-ish RPG that came out a few years back. It was really good. Shadowrun's a really cool universe that just kind of doesn't fucking get the respect it deserves. So maybe we need more orcs on the police force. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe that's this next step to racial harmony.
There's literally like a locker room scene where someone says like, "Oh, you're riding in a car with that diversity hire."
Yeah, that was it. That scene scene's in the trailer. By the way,
It's fucking lazy. This isn't even good writing. This is some like SNL. This is a fucking SNL skit that went too far.
yeah. Well, no, there were movies made out of SNL skits, but like they're all comedies. Like, imagine how uncomfortable it would be if like MacGruber was intended to be a movie taken seriously, or Night at the Roxbury. Like these
Wait, is this movie not a comedy at all? Like, is this like an action drama?
Yes.
What the fuck? Are you kidding
man.
me?
Like, it looks serious. Like, I don't think Will Smith does funny anymore.
I still thought this was like an action comedy.
I mean, there's jokes in it, but they're like Will Smith jokes, right? Like, it's like fucking Independence Day.
That's deeply unfortunate. I gotta watch this now for no other reason than like you gotta watch you have to rubberneck a car crash as you're driving past it.
Take solace in the fact that you don't have to pay any more for it than you're already paying.
True. All right, we're officially at the hour mark. This is about when we normally end the podcast. We should probably cap it off here. Does anyone have anything they want to bring up before we call this one another session of the Midnight Academy? No.
Nothing.
All right.
Good. That's all
We're
you
good.
got.
I will take the silence as acceptance. This has been hopped up. Fuck. This has been super hopped up. Your favorite podcast about trying to fill in an episode during the holidays when everyone's away, and nothing has really happened. I am your host, Chris Norris-Jones. We are on Stitcher and iTunes, wherever podcasts are held. We have a Facebook group. Come find us. We have a Twitter @SuperHoppedUp. We have an email, superhoppedup@gmail.com. Most importantly, if you want to go ahead and tell your friends about us, we would be very, very appreciative.
And we got a blood. What's the term? A blossoming YouTube channel.
We have a
right
blossoming YouTube channel. I think it's Super Hopped Up. Look for it on YouTube. That is a thing you can also do.
We're hosting some Let's Plays, hoping to build that thing's rep up in the coming year. That 2018 is the year of Super Hopped Up's YouTube channel.
We're repping our digital empire. Yep. Fuck us. God damn it. Final thoughts, any of you?
Yeah. So I just want to like Bright on Netflix, like just Netflix in general reminded me just like, so I bought this TV, like I bought a brand new TV for Boxing Day sale, and the most depressing thing was like I didn't even get a chance to enjoy my TV before like I popped it on, like immediately pops to the Netflix thing. Netflix gives me this message saying, "Hey, I've detected that you have a good TV now.
You're not paying enough for the good TV.
Would you like to upgrade your Netflix subscription to Ultra HD to fully utilize your TV's new features?" And
wait,
then
that's a thing?
It'll cost you $3 more a month, but you'll be able to do it. Like, and so like within 30 seconds of me turning on my new TV, I was reminded that like I don't have enough of like the kit to fully utilize it.
Oh, fuck. Capitalism.
Yeah,
right.
and then it just like
Shit.
it was just like the rat race like collapsed upon me, and I couldn't even enjoy my new thing. It was really sad.
That rules. I'm so happy that happened to you. Steph, final thoughts? How was your first official podcast with Behind the Microphone?
Speaking of diversity hires, thanks for letting me be yours today.
Woo, we did it.
Just in time for 2018.
God damn it.
Baby steps.
Oh, one day at a time. Bill, final thoughts?
I honestly don't recommend that anyone watch Bright. Like not even.
Oh, I
not
didn't
even
want
like
to.
as an ironic thing.
Oh, I'm gonna I'm gonna do it tonight.
All right,
Like, I'm actually going to.
Norris with the field research.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know how it is next week. It'll be like 2 sentences. What the fuck? It sucked. Boo. But I still have to do it.
I would almost rather you go watch like Triumph of the Will.
No, I don't need to do that either. That's like, I don't want to go find a fucking old ass fucking rip of Birth of a Nation. I don't need to do that. That's maybe too far. That's a bridge too far.
Birth of a Nation has a more nuanced view of race than Bright does.
Cool. All right, this is super hopped up. We'll see you guys all again next week. We love you all. Have a great Christmas, Merry Holidays, New Year's. Don't die. Peace out. Love your mother.